Hey there, Gordon once again here to show you a little with assemblies. Just wanted to cover a few things again, showing that yes, once again, still running on this MacBook with the i7 processor, and also just to show you, we've got well, this is all running through boot camp. Here's the drivers showing up, so not parallels. In this case, it is strictly boot camp. So let's just open up SolidWorks here. I already had that open as a tab. What I wanted to do, give me just a moment here. Yeah, just wanted to open up a file. This is a ball I created, 100 millimeters in diameter. Simple, or just a simple part, but you see there's a bit of a lag in loading the whole, or loading just a sphere. So maybe it's time for me to restart and clear some RAM, but let's make an assembly from this ball. So I'm just gonna go with the default and drop it in there. So freeze that ball on the well, the standard, or the front, top, and right planes. And to start demonstrating numbers of parts as far as an assembly, what we can do is pattern, or just do some simple two-dimensional patterning. I guess what I should do here first is put together some direction lines. There's probably a simpler way to do this, but I will usually just do a quick sketch using the, or well, in this case the top plane. Throw a couple of lines on in the X and Y directions, because for some reason I can't get it to select off of the planes, but there you go. Line number 1, line number 2, these guys end up being perpendicular. I'll just lock that in there as vertical, and now I've got my patterning directions. So let's go up and pattern this. So start off small. Well, actually that spacing may be a little bit off because this is a 100 millimeter ball, but let's set the direction. Or I set the one axis as a direction. Let's set the second axis, or second line, for patterning the other way, and this will create an assembly that is 100 pieces. So yeah, it looks well, it's overlapping a bit, so we'll create a little bit more space there and take that up to 150 millimeters between the centers of each of those. Yeah, let's have a look at that. So 100 pieces, and let's just set that into place. What I want to do is just show you what the rotating is like on this. So still using the trackpad, and you can see a little bit choppy at first. Zooming in and out, yes, using the trackpad, but a ball would probably be just as jumpy. But yes, 100 pieces now. So 10 by 10 spheres. I guess I could make that a little bit prettier, but no, this is the start. So let's give it a little bit more space in between those. I guess 200 millimeters. So you can actually get the full surface, maybe making this assembly a little bit more complicated, but marginally, still with the same number of parts. And what's happening here? Yeah, so a little chunky with the little chunky zooming in and out. I did strip the graphics down on this, so you might notice from the icons on the bottom that I'm not using all the Windows 7 arrow features. So that I can still get things to be fairly snappy on this machine. I also don't like looking at all those origins of the individual parts, so I've hidden that. So let's just bump up the quantity here. So essentially going from 100 pieces up to 225. So more than doubling the quantity of pieces here, and now when rotating, you can notice that there's maybe a little bit more lag with the jumpiness there. Zooming in and out, a little choppy, still functional. So 200 pieces. Yeah, I guess it depends on what you're doing for what you're doing typically for assemblies, but it is, yeah, 225 is not bad. So if you're looking at patterning a bunch of pieces, maybe that ends up being, no, never mind. You already get the feel for it. So I'm just gonna drop in another piece so you can see if there's any issues. Maybe a little bit jumpy to move around here as well. But yeah, just a little cone that I made, about the same diameter. I guess I could have made that bigger to match better with the spheres, but cones, spheres, you get the idea. So as far as mating that up, what I'll do is I'll just offset that from the top plane. As soon as I can get at the bottom to select it, I like to look at my surfaces rather than doing the select other, especially when using the trackpad. But that's just me. So we'll offset this by 300 millimeters, just so you can see the definite difference between the two shapes on two planes. Well, not necessarily two planes, but a definitive difference between the two shapes, so they're not conflicting. And I'll just line that up with the the right and the front plane as well, to put it right over top of that first sphere that I laid down. And now that that's in place, we'll rotate that around. You can see we're still, well, still chunky. It's not going to get much better. But what we have now is, I think I was just going to go and pattern this, show you what the assembly looks like when doubling up on parts, two different parts, not just patterning a single piece. And this is one of the simplest ways in order to show large assemblies. So 225 balls on there, now 225 cones, a total of 450 parts. And you can see how this rotates. So still not bad. So, or I should just say, still very functional. So now that we've got this, let's do one more thing. Let's just push it to the limit here. So maybe not to the limit, but get it up into larger quantities. So let's do a matrix of 30 by 30, so 900 pieces on each, or 900 balls, and we'll just do the same for the cones, taking it up to an 1800 piece arrangement. And just give me a moment here while I adjust these. And yeah, I know I've said it a number of times, but all trackpad based here arrangement. It's because my mouse still hasn't arrived. But here we go, and it seems to be taking a little time in order to process that, but here's 1800 parts in a linear arrangement, 30 by 30, and here's your rotating. So it takes a moment in order to register. Zooming in and out is chunky, much chunkier than with the smaller groups. So this will give you a feel for what 1800 pieces looks like. Thank you, and we'll figure out what's next.